Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Kim and today we're going through my February wrap up. How did I do in February? Well, not as well as I had hoped. So initially I said I was going to participate in 4 readathons, that being Furrow Feb. I didn't actually read anything for Furrow Feb, so that was a dud. It was our Polathon this month as well. I did participate in that. I only got like 3 books read instead of a lot more than I wanted to, but I did read books. I participated in the literature readathon and again didn't get as many read as I wanted to on that one. I think I only finished 2 on that one. And then the 72 hours in the Reading Nook, again I didn't participate as well as I would want to. I was going to set a complete TBR for that and it didn't happen. I did join in and read, but I didn't read specifically for that readathon. So let's go through some stats, shall we, for the month. In February, I read a total of 8 books, so not my best month. I read a total of 3,625 pages. That broke down to an average of 125 pages per day. And for the star ratings, I gave out 1 star, 1 2 star, 2 3 star, 1 4 star, and 3 5 star. So star-wise, I've had a pretty good month. That equals an average of 3.5 stars for the month, which is pretty good. Not my best month, but definitely not my worst. So should we go through what I actually read this month? So we started off this month with a reread. It was Empire of the Vampire by Jay Kristoff. I wanted to reread this before Empire of the Damned comes out at the end of the month. And it being a reread, I knew that I was going to have fun. And I did. It was my first 5-star read of the month. Absolutely loved it. Cannot wait for the next one. The second book that I read this month was for Polathon, and for Polathon I had to read books with blue covers. So I chose, I think it's the Fairy Loot version, has a blue cover of this book. I read One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I didn't gel with this one. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the plot, so it got 2 stars. The third book for the month was again for Polathon. This was House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I really enjoyed this one. I had fun with this. I laughed out loud during this one. The characters were just so adorable and I really enjoyed it. So it got 4 stars. The next book that I read again was for Polathon, and this one I picked up The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. It was also part of the Rory Gilmore book club, which was to read a book that has been adapted into a movie, and it was part of the Buzzword read along, which was to read books with positive words in the title. So I read The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan, and I liked the characters and I liked some of the humour. I just don't think that I was the right audience for that book. So for me, it did get 3 stars. The next book that I read was for my Agatha Christie Poirot read-along, which I'm doing with some friends in real life. And this was Curtain. It was Poirot's last case, and I loved it. I loved the twist. I knew it was coming because I remember watching the adaptation, so I know what was going to happen. But I really enjoyed the mystery around it and how Poirot led us a bit up the garden path, shall we say. And unless you know the twist at the end, you don't know the twist is coming. So for me, definitely a 5-star read. The next one was the letdown of the month, and I pretty much knew it was coming. It was the next Wheel of Time book. It was Path of Daggers by Robert Jordan, and a heck of a lot of this book was just unnecessary. It was boring and hard to get through. So it is part of the slog, apparently, of Wheel of Time, so it did only get 1 star. The next book that I read was for Literature Readathon. For this, it was for the prompt of poll pick, so thank you to everybody on the Discord who voted on my poll. It was Sinner by Sierra Simone. This was the second in the series. I don't think it's quite as good as Priest. I really enjoyed that one. It felt like there weren't too many stakes. There wasn't too much stopping her from leaving. She didn't really fight for anything. It was just, oh, here's this guy. Let's give up everything for this guy. So for me, it did only get a 3-star. And the final book I read this month was again folk literature. It was for the prompt 5-star prediction, and it was a 5-star. It was Wildfire by Hannah Grace, and I loved this one. I loved the setting of it. I loved the characters, the chemistry between them. I even liked the kids in the story. I don't really get along with kids, but I liked the kids in this story. They were quite funny. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one, so it got 5 stars. So that is everything that I read in the month of February. What do you think? I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. I don't think it was that I felt slumpy. I don't know, I just wasn't inspired to pick up books very often. And I had a lot to do away from reading. So not my best month, not my worst. Let's move on to another one. So, as always, down in my description box you can find a link to all of my socials. Come give me a follow on Goodreads, on Instagram and on X. You can like this video, you can comment, and you can subscribe if you want to. Want to let me know you're here without actually talking to me? Let's leave the fire emoji for Wildfire, my last read of the month. And I will see you next time. Doodles!